Good morning, everyone. In the world of pro wrestling, when one of our brothers or sisters of the ring passes away, in order to show our respect, we have what is called the 10 bell salute. This past Friday, one of my brothers of the ring, Chris Thunder Anderson, lost his life from a medical um, incident. And so today is his funeral. On behalf of myself and my team here at hashtag I'm Gonna Say It, we would like to keep his family in our thoughts, prayers, and send them our sincerest condolences. So if you will, join me in memorializing my brother with a 10 bell salute before we open the show. Thank you all. Thank you all. It is our prayer that our Lord and Savior continue to be the arms of comfort and the shelter in the Anderson family's time of storm. That he be their light in their darkest hours.
Tired of the silence, the sugar-coated lies. Another headline screaming behind vacant eyes. They build up their walls so high and so strong, but the truth's gonna break through before too long. Every single day, the same damn old game, pointing all the fingers, nobody takes the blame. This precious building is starting to crack. Ain't no turning back now, ain't no holding back. I'm about to say it, yeah, I'm about to scream. Tired of the fake smiles, living in a dream. The real life's bleeding out in the cold. Gotta break the mold, gotta let it unfold. I'm about to say it, every single word. The uncomfortable truth finally gonna be heard. I'm gonna say it.
Thank you for joining us on hashtag I'm Gonna Say It. Good morning to everyone. Onyx, Bestie, thank you for that community fest. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for joining as well. Friday when I came to you all and we had a show, I told you that since the storm was coming, that what was going to be the third segment would be the first segment today. But I said, unless something happens or takes place, right? Rochelle, good morning, Bessie. Thank you for that community fest. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for that heart me. Hashtag True Podcast in the building. Yes, that's right. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, Global Impact Wrestling return, but at a special start time. It'll be 7 p.m. tonight. Not 5 p.m., but 7 p.m. And like I said, go on YouTube, go and subscribe to Global Impact Wrestling TV, and join us on having fun with some wrestling and just fellowship. Just great. It's great. Thank you for the Go Popular. I appreciate that, Rochelle. Thank you. Make sure you join us there. Hashtag Truth Podcast. I understand that you're going to Chris Thunder Anderson's funeral today. If you will, please give the family our love and our condolences. Please. Please. I know I promised that I would open up with what was third segment to be the first segment today. But something else came across, and I want to share it with you all, right? And this is from, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, this is it. This is from Jamel, a.k.a. Jamal, on YouTube. Now, listen, this is only a piece of it. But I'm going to tell you all, Pink Tech, good morning, love. You made it in. You here early. I love it. I love it. Have a good day at work. Be safe. Be safe. All right? This is only a little bit. However, I strongly encourage you all to go and watch the full interview, right? And what I'll do after the show, if you message me and say, hey, I want to watch the full interview, just send me a message stating that. I'll send you the link and you can go watch it. We can't watch it on here like we normally do and play the audio because it's some language in there, some verbiage in there, right? That we can't have on here. Pink Texas Grand Rising, waiting on my drill battery to charge. Laugh out loud. Hey, pop your earpiece in, baby. I got you. Just rock with me. And again, be safe. You know I'll be checking up on you throughout the day. Ibi Lolo, good morning. Good morning. So listen, I know that they're doing deliberations and stuff like that with the case, so I'll go ahead and move this along so we can also check in with that, which I don't even have myself set up for that, but we will later on. Let's play this segment, and then I'll have another segment after this one. But let's just listen to this right here. Now, if this is Piers Morgan interviewing Big Homie CC. Now, some people may not have a clue on who that is, but Big Homie CC is a security guard, and he did security for a lot of the known celebrities that we've been talking about. And some major players in the industry. So he does share a lot of insight on things that he's seen or has been sharing insight. And now he has decided to leave the country. But let's find out why.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel again. Thank y'all so much for coming over. Got this video here from Piers Morgan Uncensored. It says, if Diddy walks, I'm target number one. Big Homie leaves America. This is Big Homie CC. I've reacted to a few of his videos where he was exposed and a lot of the stuff that he had seen. Seems to have a lot of intel on a lot of situations, a lot of stuff that's going on right now. But saying he left America. Hey, hopefully everything goes smoothly with this. Appreciate y'all coming over. We ain't gonna waste no more time. Let's jump right into it. You can find the complete interview in the description below. Just because I know I'm gonna have to probably trim some stuff out. Let's jump right into it.
For us as an ice cream shop, connect
That's not part of it. That's those commercials that always get you.
to use, and it just
The prosecution delivered their fiery closing argument in the Sean Diddy Combs criminal trial, highlighting why these are episodes trafficking, why the evidence proves Combs operated a criminal enterprise.
Diddy was coming under fire for trying to tamper with witnesses while he was arrested. There are several people who were initially named to be witnesses. They just magically disappeared. I'm aware of a lot of things taking place in back channels. People.
Let's just we hadn't even gotten good into it, and we got to pause it. Once again, he just said there was a lot of more witnesses but they came up missing. Now, hold on. When he says missing, he don't mean like, okay, well, hold on. I don't think he means like life ending, right? What I think he mean is they decided not to testify, maybe because they was threatened, maybe because they were paid off. We don't know. We don't know. Oh, hold on.
Female voice.
Welcome to hashtag I'm gonna say it. All things said on today's show is alleged and for entertainment and educational purposes only. Those of you that are below the age of 18, we request that you leave the live now. Enjoy. Now, we covered ourselves on that. So I think that's what he means. I'm not sure. Hashtag True Podcast says people are scared and finding rocks to hide under. That part right there, brother. I bring that up and point that out because we have already stated throughout this whole court proceedings that just because Puffy Jacket is incarcerated or in the belly of the beast doesn't mean he does not have people on the outside to carry out plans. How sinister those plans may be, it's a totally large spectrum, right? Like we said, it could be from payment to threats to unaliving. We don't know. We don't know. But he knows, and he just stated it.
Receiving a lot of payments.
To shut them up?
Yeah, definitely. That's blood on my feet, on the ground. And the guy that's screaming to call 911 is the person who was on the other end of the gunfire. He killed me, but
Jenny, good morning, bestie.
He thought he was gonna
Thank
die.
you for the heart,
he was begging for God, and due to the situation, the circumstances, I decided that it's probably best for me to live outside of the States at this point.
Wow. Why?
There are some adequate and imminent threats to me.
Now, if he is a known bodyguard for these entertainers, celebrities, whatnot, what have you, if he's a known bodyguard and he feels that it is in his best interest, the betterment of his safety, to leave the country. Little brother, good morning. Thank you for coming in. My little brother says, with everything that has come out, Puffy Jacket is on the same level as Mob Boss, is almost with his reach. Exactly. Thank you for that heart. Me too, bestie. I mean, little brother, I appreciate it. You my bestie too, but I appreciate that. And you are right. If he feels that's the best thing for him, let's imagine what these other supposed witnesses that were going to testify feared. That gives us more pertinent insight on or intel on why those that are, and I have to say it for the live, those that are alleged victims of his couldn't leave. If you have a trained and known bodyguard that felt he has to leave, then for his safety, the victim stood no chances, people. They didn't have a dog in the fight. Bestie Jenny says the fact that people are still scared to come forward tells me how he moves. Yes, we don't have to even second guess it. DJ Zay, my brother, says, I talked to Big Gene. Listen, Big Gene, you know, he's under a lot of scrutiny right now, but I do feel like he should have been able to testify as well. Why didn't they call him? Why wouldn't they? Not only, hold on, my little brother says, has anyone seen or heard from Ashy Cushion? No, Ashy Cushion, I like that. No, well, I haven't, but I did see a video of him. I think he's at a game or something with his wife or whatnot. He didn't look healthy. No shade, but he didn't look healthy. And I don't know what causes that, but I'm just saying. Ashy did not look healthy.
In the first week of Sean Diddy Combs' trial trafficking and racketeering, I spoke to his former bodyguard, Big Homie. He dropped a series of bombshell revelations about how he expected the trial to play out.
I expect to see a lot of strange things take place. I expect to see
DJ Zay,
the
I agree
defense
with you. I
team
think he's
do
gonna
a
get
lot
off.
of steps to lighten the image of Combs. And we've been watching that take place. Somebody didn't want me to do this interview. I've had FBI come to my house before and tell me they found a threat against my life. I'm a person who believes that the Epstein's list is very similar to Diddy's list.
Yes.
I had sit there in a video of the guy, Combs, walking around, collecting everyone's cell phone before they get onto a yacht to go party.
I seen that.
After 7 weeks of a trial that's rocked the entertainment world, the prosecution has now rested. The defence, meanwhile, started to wrap up their response in just 20 minutes with no witnesses called
Big Homie
without putting
couch
Diddy on the
crusher.
stand.
You crazy.
So is Big Homie
Bestie.
surprised by how the trial has played out? Does he think the verdict will be guilty or not guilty? And is he concerned for his own safety if Diddy was to walk free? Well, I can delightedly say that Big Homie...
Bessie, let me ask you, wasn't he mentioned in one of the lawsuits, Big Homie CC, or am I tripping? I know the comedian dude, I can't think of his name, that be in the commercials with Joe Budden, or he was in a commercial with Joe Budden. I can't remember his name, but he's a comedian, and he's been getting a lot of work lately. Drewski, that's what I'm talking. Yes, okay. She said, yeah. Jenny said yes with Jag and Drewski. That's what I'm talking about, Drewski. Okay, all right. So yeah, I thought Big Homie CC was, which goes to, okay, if that is true, now we really know he's seen stuff, right? Anthea, what's up, Bessie? I ain't see you in a minute. Hey there, can you please give me an update? Do you think he will be found guilty? Okay, so right now we're talking about Big Homie CC, he's a known bodyguard for a lot of the entertainers and celebrities, but he felt his life was threatened, so he needed to leave the country, right? Now, we were saying if he is the bodyguard for these people and he felt his life, it was in his best interest or safety to leave the country, what do you think the victims, alleged victims, had to go through, right? You get me? Hashtag True Podcast has became a new news crew member. Let's welcome him to the team. Thank you so much for the subscription. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, brother. Welcome to the team. Do I think he's going to walk? Yes. I just got a strong feeling he is. Do I think he should? That's a strong no. But given the way, and the reason I think that is because, like I was saying, the way his defense team was acting during their closing statements. Now, let's keep in mind, though, the prosecution team gets to have the last word. So if they can come back and kind of get the ship back on course, then maybe. Liz, good morning, bestie. Rochelle says, I'm saying no. I'm praying no. It's just the way that they were acting. Like, Agnophilia, when he was doing the final closing statements or argument, whatever it's called, closing statements, it was more of him just playing around. Like, I didn't feel any, it wasn't like he was serious about it. Tori, good morning. Welcome in, bestie. Seven carats. I like that name. 7 carats is free Diddy. Hashtag free Diddy. I just don't think that it wasn't like he was giving his closing statement as if his client's freedom depended on it. It was more so of a joke. And then you had Puffy Jacket passing letters. Oh, Liz, thank you for the bounce speakers. I appreciate that. Thank you, Bessie. You had Puffy Jacket and his daughters passing notes back and forth with each other. Now, if it were me in his situation, which I would never be, but if it was me in his situation, the last thing I'm thinking about doing is passing letters with my kids. In fact, I'd probably get held in contempt of court because with this going on, I would have to show up with some Patron or something. Like, 'cause it's a stressful situation. But they wasn't like that, man. It was like they was just like cool and like they as if they already knew the outcome. Get me? It's almost like they already knew they didn't have to work hard because they already knew what the outcome was going to be. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think so.
Homie is with me here in London in the main studio. Big Homie, welcome.
Hello, sir. Thank you
You're
for having
in
me.
the heart of Uncensored.
I will say this, especially as him being a bodyguard. I don't
Salute
think
to my
he
coffee
should
drinkers.
have been saying where he was.
Jenny,
He
thank you for
feels
the
like
friendship
his
necklace. I appreciate
life
that,
is in
bestie.
jeopardy. He shouldn't have been saying where he's located. You know what I mean? I mean, everybody know Pierce is in London, but still, you know, I feel
Yeah.
like he could have avoided that.
Now I agree with Jamel, aka Jamal, on that. I think that was a bad idea for big homie CC to even state where he is. Like that's hustling backwards. If you're supposed to be hiding or in hiding, why would you state your location? Why would you state your 20? You can't, and he should know better. He should know better. All right, Anthea, you have a great day as well. Thank you for dropping by. My little brother said, that's clueless behavior right there. Exactly, little brother. Like, wow, what? That's like playing hide and seek when you little. And where you hiding at, you just yelling like over here, over here. Like, you know, like don't do that. But there's something else I'm gonna point out though.
One dealer makes
We're going to oh, that's commercial. We're gonna keep going, but I'm gonna point something out to you in a minute.
warranty on every new Hyundai.
I wanna see if y'all catch it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure. It's an honor. I'm glad to be here.
Why are you here, first of all, in London?
Well, you know,
Pause. So he just stated where he was. Did y'all catch that? Hashtag True Podcast says some people aren't used to hiding. They used to seeking. Hey, that's a good point. Hashtag True Podcast. That's a good point. That's a very good point. I didn't think about that. My little brother says, would you have my voice distorted? I would have my voice distorted, face blurred, blackened out, and a fake background. Exactly. You have to take all precaution. But now listen, did you all hear where he said he was? Rochelle said Pierce busted him out and did. And look, and did. He's definitely in on like now when I say in, I'm talking about he's definitely like spoiled his 20. He gave it away, right? Jenny says, I don't think he's really in hiding, kind of like Allie. You think he just trying to get some pub? Here's the thing. He says he's in where he said he was, right? I'm not going to say it, but you heard where he said he was. Now, the thing about that, well, I guess I'm going to have to say it in order to tell you all what I want to tell you. Deb, good morning, bestie. Welcome in. How are you feeling today? I've got to say it. I'm sorry, big homie CC. Well, I mean, you and Piers already done said it, but okay, so he's hiding in London. Pause. Let's take a stroll down memory lane. Where was Notorious B.I.G. supposed to go, or supposed to be going, but Puffy Jacket diverted him from making that trip and made him come to L.A.? Where was he supposed to go? I'll give you a few minutes. Let's see who knows. Let's see who's been keeping up, like me and my news crew members. Where was Notorious B.I.G. scheduled to go to? But Puffy Jacket made sure he did not go to this place and instead made sure that he came to L.A., ultimately losing his life. I'm going to give y'all a few more minutes. Genesis, I'm lost. I don't know. All right. Okay. I'll tell you all. London. Okay. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Good morning, Marie. How you doing, bestie? Now, Liz said, that's right. Bestie, get this though. Listen, now, she said, my mind exploded. I'm telling you, like, when you stop and break this down, he's hot. Okay, so he big homie CC fears for his life, decides that he said definitely if Puffy Jacket gets out, he's target number one, basically, right? That's what he said, not his words, not mine. So he decided it for his safety, it would be best for him to leave the country. And what he picked to relocate to London. Jenny said, just like Ellen, I believe. I have to look it up. I'm not sure where I know she left the country too, but I'm not sure where she went. Now, Notorious B.I.G. was supposed to go to London. Puffy Jacket made sure that didn't happen and got him diverted to L.A. Ultimately is where he lost his life. Hold on. Now, we just did a show last week, and we had a segment on that show in regards to Heavy D. Remember, Heavy D did a show in London. They said it was successful. They said it was one of his greatest performances. And then, after he left London, he came back home, and within a week, he was unalived. So, what does London have to do with all of this? You get me? Jenny said, just like B in her shirt. Why is that one? I mean, the world is huge. There's many of places that people could go to. How come London is sticking out? And with that being said, hashtag True Podcast says, you would think, hold on, I don't know why I blocked out your comment. Let me get you on there. Let me get that approved so we can read it. It says, if you would think if all these people are leaving the country, the prosecutor could use that. If they were good, that is something I would mention. And listen, even if it gets struck down in court and and the defense team objects, right? And the judge sustains that, I would still get it out there. My bestie Amy, thank you for the daily heart. How you doing? Welcome in. Mitria, good morning. How you doing? Think about that, people. Let's think about that. Big homie CC says he was going to London. He's relocated to London. Nitria, thank you for that heart me. I appreciate it. He's relocated to London, thinking about his safety, right? Oh, hold on. Amy, thank you for that community crown. Thank you. He says, look, I got to relocate to London. You know, I'm in fear of my life. Big was supposed to go to London. He gets prevented from doing that. Comes to LA, gets unalive. Jenny, thank you for that new here. Oh, Jenny, thank you for the dolphins. I appreciate that. Let's shout out Tiffany Gaines, 8871, for becoming number 28 in our fan club. Welcome aboard, Tiffany. Thank you so much. Thank you for the club cheers. Amy, we appreciate you. I'm loving the love and support. Thank you for the cheerful balloons, Amy. I've never seen that. Thank you. I've never seen that before. Jenny, thank you for them club cheers. I appreciate that, bestie. Thank you for them Go Populars, Jenny. I appreciate you. I appreciate the love. Thank you. Thank you. Tiffany says, I'm new here. Hey, thank you for that. I appreciate it. Amy with the Go Popular. Liz. Thank you, Liz, with the encore clap. You know it. I appreciate you. I love you all. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. But does that not make you wonder? Again, people, I'm not saying that it does have anything to do with it, but it's just, it has to make your antenna go up. But now, with that being said, though, here's what I want to know. Shout out to Liz. She just reached the number 15 level in the fan club. Here's what I want to know. By him going there, and now that he's been doxxed by Pierce and himself, does that mean that he will be what if he does come up on the live? Would we be wrong for going back and saying or thinking that, hey, Puffy Jacket is behind that? I'm just saying. We're just asking questions here. We're going to move along. But I wanted to point that out. That London, man, it plays a significant role in this industry, it seems like.
A lot of engagements, speaking events, a lot of podcasts. So I'm really on a European tour right now.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. And due to the situation, the circumstances, I decided that it's probably best for me to live outside of the States at this point.
Really?
Absolutely.
So you won't be going back?
Yes.
No, sir.
Yes, too.
Oh,
For how long?
Indefinitely.
Gina says, I wonder
Really?
why out
Absolutely.
of all the places they're
You've
safe there.
emigrated.
Exactly.
You've left.
Yes, I've left.
Wow. Why?
Why would they go there? Like I said, Big was supposed to go there. That got intercepted. Heavy D went there only to lose his life moments later, or a week later when he got home. Now, Big C thinks that's where he's safe at. Which, and again, even if he was, I don't think he is now. Like, I think if he never would have, because, like, yeah, okay, you can look at the video, like, and like Jamel said, Jamel, aka Jamal, said, everybody knows Piers Morgan is in London. All right, we know that. And so he could have just left it at that. They could have just left it at him doing the interview. They were like, okay, he went there, he's in London just to do the interview. But then he goes as far as to say he's relocated there. And Pierce is asking him, like, well, how do you, basically, and I'm paraphrasing, but he's basically asking, how do you like life here? How do you like residing here in London? Dude, what? How I'm supposed to be in hiding and I'm telling you my hiding place? Jenny said, think about who has power there. Masonic folks. And we've talked about what the Masonic people mean to this industry and to that elite club. Tiffany says, so sad. It really is. It's so sad. It's so sad because he should know better. He definitely should know better. And now you saying, hey, I got other podcast shows lined up that I got to be on. Thank you for the heart puffs, Jenny. I appreciate that, bestie. So now who's to say that they won't do any kind of research or deep dive into who he's supposed to be doing these future shows with, and catch him outside of one of the shows or on the way to one of the shows, one of the interviews he's supposed to do. I just think he's moving sloppy.
Shouldn't have said
Angel, welcome in, bestie. Where you been?
I mean, because my whole thing is like the stuff people will do for money. He said he has all these podcasts to do and all that. I feel like if people want to reach out to podcasts, like you gotta be careful, man. He should know better than this for sure.
Facts.
For sure.
Facts.
We've got some
Jenny
intel
said
about
he was
certain
out
things,
to
and
dinner
shout out
with
to
a
my
fan and
brother
taking
Dugar
pics.
and
Yeah.
the rest of our team.
Yeah, sorry.
There are some
I saw that.
adequate
I
and
saw that.
imminent threats to me. And I made a
Right, Tiffany, be
agreement with my
underground,
mother that
sir.
at a certain
Way
age
underground.
that
You're right.
I would eventually, try to settle down, have a family, and I wouldn't partake in
Thank you
violent
for that
acts and
heart, me
stuff like that
angel. I
anymore in the line
appreciate
of
it.
work. So, I always took my education seriously growing up, and my mom did a well job to make sure myself and my brother were cultured. So it's been a nice integration process for me.
Rochelle said, my brother was buried in a secret burial section, completing a Masonic circle. Ooh. Whoa. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Angel, thank you for that journal. Thank you for the journals. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. I appreciate that. Let's set up a new goal here. Thank you all.
I'm loving London right now.
You think you'll set up home here?
Definitely.
Really?
Absolutely.
You feel safer here?
Definitely, I do.
I wish you would take
Absolutely, I do.
the glasses off, man.
I'm at the local Sainsbury's and people stopping me after our first interview. A lot of people tuned in.
Yeah, 3 million people watched that interview. It was huge.
Right, that's huge. It's huge.
Did you get a
Jenny, thank you for it's corn.
I got
I appreciate it.
Almost an overwhelming reaction. A lot of support. A lot of people were.
Danielle, thank you. Welcome in, first of all, and thank you for the heart pugs. I appreciate you.
Yes.
And
welcome to hashtag. I'm gonna say it.
So I've got some reaction here. We took some comments off the Uncensored YouTube channel.
Danielle, thank you for the
Eve
goat.
Carr said, I've literally fallen in love with Big Homie. There's nothing more attractive than a man genuinely wanting to protect women and kids. I hope he stays safe.
Thank you for the TikTok, Jenny.
Wow.
And the chili, I appreciate that.
Slivka said, you, sir, have huge balls. He means you, for doing this interview. Hats off to you. I applaud you for what you and your team are doing. I hope you and yours are...
So Piers Morgan just literally asked him, how does he feel about his relocation to London? Yo, crazy, insane.
Well protected.
Crazy,
and I think IT said Homie was very, very careful. You can tell he knows a lot. He just can't say it on air. I hope this guy is safe and continues to do what he does best. On that last point, are you careful? Have you been careful about what you say publicly?
No.
Yeah, very careful how transparent I am.
Oh, I never seen that. Thank you for the chat and popcorn. I never seen that before.
I want to protect their identities.
Danielle says, I can't stay long, but I saw you on and wanted to come show a little support. Hey, I appreciate that, Danielle. I appreciate you. I humbly appreciate that. Let's W Danielle in the live. My twin Shay, thank you for the heart, me love. You made it into the show. Hey, give it up to Shay for becoming a 29 fan in the fan club. Welcome to the family. Thank you, thank you. I think he was being safe, probably. Well, maybe not, because like we was just saying, he was out taking pictures with fans. So, not. He's moving sloppy. And I'm going to tell you, I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. Back when I was a teenager doing crazy stuff, right? And just living, thinking that I was invincible, right? And we just gonna say crew for the sake of the platform because we don't want to get in no trouble, right? But so when I was running with my crew, when we did criminal activity, we didn't let that be known. We didn't glorify. We didn't put it all out there and talk about it so people. That wasn't how we moved. That wasn't how anybody that was in a crew moved back then. Now these jits nowadays, if they do something, they rapping about it, they posting it on their social media, and then you have him Big Homie CC, who's supposed to be a bodyguard and is a bodyguard, sitting here doxing himself. How can you be in hiding and you telling people where you hiding? Danielle says, nope, moved in silence in those days. That part. Real bad boys and girls move in silence. Shout out to Shaheem on that too, a.k.a. the Rugged Chop. Demetrius, he says he is running and snitching no going to work. Puffy already 10 steps ahead of him. Look, W. Demetrius in there too. See, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Now, I don't know if you just, I think you might have just came in, brother, but we were saying how he has been exposing and talking about all of the situations that he's seen while being a bodyguard of these people, right? And he's been exposing them. So now he's left the country stating that if Puffy Jacket is to get out, which I'm gonna be honest, back to Rochelle, I'm talking with you now, Bestie. Hey, good morning, Jess Ann, 86. Good morning. I'm talking to you right now, Rochelle. Remember we were saying how if he gets out, this is another reason that makes me think he's gonna get off, because this dude's already fled the country. Like, as if the chances of him getting out and knowing that he would be the first one that they came after, his words, not mine, he left the country, that kind of makes me feel like they already know something. My little brother, especially when it comes to watching my movements. Hey, when it's something like this and you saying that your life is in danger, you should be quiet as a church mouse. There's no way you're going to tell somebody where you are. Why would you tell your enemy where you are? Right? And we're not promoting violence. We're not promoting violence on here. We are trying to promote logical thinking, right? Demetrius says, why, if you're leaving, you making announcements? Unreal. It makes no sense, does it? Danielle says, when you move alone and in silence, there are no alibis, no witnesses, and you ain't got to worry about it. That part, stay quiet. You stay quiet. Rochelle said, maybe. You know, Gina said, right. And Gina said, that right there. Exactly. Like you gotta be quiet. My little brother says, we were trained to never take the same routes to the same to and from places. Man, what you say? You got to go different ways, man, especially when them headlights is behind you and you don't know who it is. Jenny says, if Puffy Jacket wanted him, he would have gotten him a long time ago. And that's true. That this is one of those situations, two things could be true at the same time. Maybe you that is true. That because he clearly, like we said, he's got reach out here. Even though he's been incarcerated, he's got reach. We know that, right? My little brother says, always learn different routes to get somewhere. Jenny, thank you for the rose. Appreciate that, bestie. Rochelle, thank you for them club cheers. Appreciate it. Bestie Jenny, thank you for the hand hearts. Danielle says, but these cats post everything and talk about everything, and it's all clout, not business. Exactly. That's what's wrong with nowadays. You want the clout, you want the recognition, because it makes them seem hard instead of being silent. You see what I'm saying? And moving in silence. Jenny, thank you for the level up, Sparks. I appreciate that. My little brother, something you pointed out about Ashley Kutcher. Uh-oh, hold on. Guilt really takes a toll on you. Good point, little brother. Good point. And again, I'm not talking about nobody. I'm not judging nobody, but I'm just trying to let y'all know. In that video, Ashley Cushion really, and I love that. I love that name, little brother. Ashley Cushion literally looked like death. His seat, the cheeks, the bone, and sunken in. He had these sunglasses on. It's, you know, sometimes you can just look at somebody and you know, especially if you've already been seeing him, like we've seen him in shows and movies and stuff like. So we got an idea what he. And no, and I'm not talking about, well, you say, well, Mr. Breaking News, he's gotten older. No, it's not an older look. It's not an older look. It's a very sickening look. It's, and to my little brother's point, it's a stressed out look, like he's been carrying stress for a while. Like it's not healthy. It's not healthy. Demetrius says Jacket will walk and give out receipts. Only 2 days to get their priorities together. Well, and like I was saying, brother, you know, I feel that way based on their movements and their actions during the defense closing statements. But if he does get out, it's going to be so bad for so many people. And I agree with you. I agree with you. As far as they need to get their priorities together. Now, the prosecution has the final say. They have another, they get to come up and rebut what the defense team did last weekend, right? And if they don't bring it home, this is the only chance they got. If they don't bring it home, if they don't tie it up and make it concrete, I mean, don't get me wrong, I know we've seen and heard some things that we shouldn't even be talking about him possibly getting out, but unfortunately that's the state that we live in. This is the times that we live in. And I think Jenny and I was talking yesterday, I believe. Yeah, it was me and you, Jenny, and I was saying we're at a point now where there's no such thing as innocence and guilty. It's more so rich and poor in the courtroom. If you are rich and you got the money and the means, you can buy freedom. If you don't, man, you get me. Jenny said justice ain't for us. Exactly, bestie. It's not for us. You got to be in a higher tax bracket. You got to be amongst a higher elite group in order to move or do things like this and still be found innocent. Demetrius says they need that major distraction. Doing so will draw those cameras off the off the bills and laws. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I believe you on that. Danielle says, but freedom is a different price for everyone depending on your tax bracket. That part right there, bestie. That part, man, because it's just not going. If you are common folks or you don't have, you can still have money, but not be, you're not amongst them. You can forget about it. Jenny says, if you ain't got a meal in the bank, you ain't getting justice. Period. My little brother said, case in point, the orange toddler felon. Exactly. Say less. Exactly. How is he walking? Found guilty and still walking free. Come on, man. We'd have been under the jailhouse. That's facts, no chasing.
I just feel like a proper gentleman should always be wary of his etiquette. And, I'm far from a slouch.
All right, this feels almost illegal.
Hey, Marie, great point, Bessie. She said he didn't snitch. Hey, great point.
Like, you see how he said his victims that he's trying to protect he wants to protect them. And,
Jenny said, especially if you ain't part of a certain club, Masonic puppets. BS, exactly.
A lot more. I thought more people would be testifying. And like I said, I guess a lot of people.
Hold on, because he's talking about the people testifying, the other people
that he's trying to protect he wants to protect them.
He said there's a lot of other people. The big homie CC said there's a lot of other people that he could name, but he wants to protect them. It's supposed to be like they supposed to have been testifying in a trial. They supposed to be testifying against Puffy Jacket. But he's going to protect them. He's not going to say their names.
And, I said with the Diddy trial, like, it just seems like a lot was missing that I expected
Demetrius.
A lot more. I thought more people would be testifying. And like I said, I guess a lot of people either just couldn't get up there and do it, or you know, maybe he got to them.
That.
So I don't know. I don't know.
That.
But it felt like something was definitely missing.
Yes.
Thought it would be more.
Yes. Definitely something missing. Thought there would be more. That shout out to Jamil, aka Jamal, and that's what I'm saying. And as he just said, like he don't know if maybe he got to him, you know, as far as on that threatening end. And now you got to think, the prosecution, they supposed to already have evidence that he had been doing this and tampering with witnesses and intimidating them while being incarcerated. Now, that alone should carry some kind of trouble for him. But that's not even talked about. Danielle says, yeah, they didn't even mention the kids or any other real dirt. Yes, that's another thing. They didn't even bring that up. Like there's so many things that they could have gotten him on that they didn't even do. They didn't even go with. Now I get it. A lot of people say, well, that's just circumstantial. That don't mean they don't have any evidence to prove that. Maybe they don't, but I believe they do. They just not pursuing it. And I think they're not because other people are involved. And we have to say this again. And I'm not saying Judge Submaranian is, but I just want to put out there, you have to keep in mind, in this particular circle of people that do these things, again, lawyers, judges, attorneys, all of them, LEOs, they are involved. Some are involved. And so you're not going to get justice like you should or like you would with just an average Joe, because that would mean their dirt would have to come out. That would mean their skeletons would have to come out of the proverbial cemetery. My little brother, remember that video of JB and Puffy Jacket? Puffy Jacket asked JB if he was wearing one. I remember the tap. I remember him trying to check, pat him down and see. Now, bringing that up, bringing JB up, listen to what I'm telling y'all. I'm going to remind y'all, this is just merely a small portion of that interview. Please, I encourage you to go and watch the entire video interview. I think it's like 30 minutes long. But if you want to, because he talks about Justin Bieber. He makes mention in reference to that. But if you want to see the interview, let me know. Just shoot me an inbox or a message on here saying, hey, Mr. Breaking News, I want to see that whole interview. Can you send me the link? I got you. I advise you all to go and watch it. I strongly encourage you all to go.
I'm a formidable opponent for anyone, but no man is invincible, and Father Time is undefeated. You know, I'm not 20, 21 years old anymore. You know, it takes a longer time to recover from things. You know, I've been shot, I've been stabbed, I've been poisoned.
We love TikTok Shop. We love TikTok Shop.
And, you know, in order for a man to combat evil, you know, sometimes he must be able to enact evil as well. And, you know, violence is not my identity. Just a toolbox in my, a tool in my toolbox, I should say, because, you know, you got to be wary of guys in positions of power who, you know, if you spend a lot of money for a wedding and stuff like that, on rings to court a lady, you know, just to be, your moral compass is skewed and it's flawed.
You mean like Diddy?
Absolutely, absolutely.
What have you? I mean, we obviously spoke near the start of the trial. We're now at the end of the trial, waiting for the
part I had to edit out when he was talking about the whole, like, how they, Diddy and the escort guy, what they did to Cassie, you know, how they went to the bathroom on her.
Final arguments. Some interesting things. I mean, just before we came on air, the prosecutors announced they've dropped some of the predicate acts in their case against him, including attempted arson, to simplify, they say, jury instructions. But the central charges remain unchanged.
Again, he's got to cut stuff out, so that's why I said I encourage you all to go and watch.
I've interestingly interviewed a lot of people. Some of them with direct involvement here. Comes down to whether the jury believes that this was consensual or not. If he does walk, though, would you already fear about reprisals against you just for speaking out? Would you be genuinely concerned about him coming after you? Is that one of the reasons you've left the country?
Well, here's the thing. You know, only thing I fear is God and my mom. And I made a promise to my mom that, you know, I'm not gonna revert to an old lifestyle. And I know if he walks, you know, I'm gonna be target number one, which is fine. I'm used to that. You know, it's kind of exciting for me.
Is that exciting or is that slightly scary?
Oh, no, it's definitely exciting, Pierce.
Really?
Yeah.
Explain that, because in my world, I wouldn't find that exciting.
Right.
Well,
Jenny's a Cap. I'm calling Cap. Why are you out of the country then?
In my profession, you know, that's what we live for.
Okay, someone's number one target.
I'm saying the same thing.
Wow.
That's why I said,
History was written by the best group of murderers. No religion, no border.
We love TikTok Shop.
No
Love
country
TikTok
exists
Shop.
without violence.
Auntie Lovey.
In every society,
This is Big Homie
even
CC,
when humans were
the
in
bodyguard
hunter-gatherers,
for the
Stone
celebrities
Age,
and stuff.
you always had that group of guys whose sole job was
He left the country, Auntie, and he's made statements that he said that if Puffy Jacket walks, he's gonna be the first person they come for, right? So he left the country. Auntie Lovey said, "Oh, that's my boy." Yeah, he left the country. But the thing about that though is, Auntie, is the fact of the matter, he doxed himself. He says where he's at. So even if he's supposed to be in hiding, he just gave up his 20. He just gave up his 20. So where how can you hide now?
to defend, protect, and if need be, go and burn someone's village. Yeah. So, you know, I would be a part of that group.
The village burners.
Absolutely.
What if you had to defend yourself?
If I had to defend myself, you know, pray for them, not me.
Wow.
For sure.
Do you think it may come to that? I mean...
Now, if you go and watch the same, the full video, he actually is showing some video footage on his phone where he's been tried and things got a little bloody and didn't work out for the person that was trying it. Auntie Love said, uh-oh, I've been MIA. Yeah, I noticed I hadn't seen you in a while. Danielle says, or maybe he said that he wanted people to think, yeah. I think that's more so of it. Again, why would you leave if you didn't fear? You just would have stayed here in the country. You would have stayed here countryside and been 10 toes down. However, if you did go into hiding, I just don't think you should tell people where you're located or where you're hiding.
He might walk, and we're going to find out soon. He could be out next week.
And Pierce to blame too.
He could be out next week.
And he'll then know
Pierce
that
to
you've
blame
been out doing these kind of interviews and, you know, talking
you do
trash
that.
about him
Do
as
that,
he would
Auntie.
see it. Others would think you've been honest.
But when you do, tell him.
But if he's out and
Listen,
loose and
don't do
dangerous
that no
as you
more,
think
man.
he is,
Don't dox yourself.
and you're number one target.
Don't let people know where you are.
Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and to the hour of our death. Amen. And I'll leave it at that.
What does that mean?
I walk in the light. I believe in my faith. I feel like that's what got me here and this far. And
yeah, amen, Patty.
No weapon
Shout out to
formed
you, Patty.
against me
Welcome
shall
in.
prosper.
But do you think, knowing him as you do you think he would try and have me?
I'm about to show.
I guess when you are in the lifestyle that he's in, you become somewhat immune to it.
And I can see that.
It's some type of thrill.
Auntie said, not if you in hiding.
Boy. I guess he's trying to say is that he's ready. He's ready for whatever. But I mean, this is a big if, but if Diddy was to walk, to get out free.
This is a metal roof.
Man.
And this
Sorry, Oz, commercial. Be tripping.
is a metal roof. Erie
I can't see it happening because I feel like he's a narcissist and just crazy. But you would think he would be like, that was close. They almost got me.
He's not.
Let me try to get on the right track. That's asking a lot. But you would think he would go down that path.